Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 2. Today we'll be launching our crew of 4 to our moon base on our SLS Block 0. But before that, we'll be launching 4 of the rockets that have a small base for our Kerbals. That includes our crew module they'll be staying in for the duration of the mission until we land a dome-based module to connect to. The ISRU rover is next. It will refuel both of our landers, Blue and HLS. They will both be launched on our SLS Block 1B to land near our Lunar rover site to set up base operations. Shortly after that, HLS will be launched and await in orbit until our Starship will refuel and attempt our first catch of the ship, then head out to dock with Blue Moon in lunar orbit. I learned a lot of new methods in the making of this video, and I'll be going over them as the video goes on. As I mentioned in the past, I'll be uploading the crafts to Steam to share with you guys. Now, let's get into the video. As the first launch heads to orbit, I want to talk about the new land design I've chosen. Originally, the crew was going to stay in HLS until episode 3, but I wanted them living on the surface instead. So I built a new lander based on the constellation program Kepler, the horizontal lander designed for Mars. I was inspired by my favorite YouTuber Rocket Guy, who uses a similar design as CareerSafe. Huge thanks to him for the inspiration. This lander will be used on the Moon, Mars, and Eve, delivering rovers, crew, and surface modules. It will also receive upgrades later on for more fuel and cargo space, and even a small rover mounted to the side. As we arrive at the moon for our capture burn, I also want to mention a change coming to the series. After episode 3, I'll be installing a restock mod to improve the overall look of the game. I wanted to use it for this episode, but I didn't want to change everything in the middle of the episode. Now, it's time to land. We separate from the second stage and make our descent next to the rover. I didn't land quite as close as I wanted, so I loaded a quick save and gave it another try. After touchdown, we separate from the lander from its cargo module. Skipping ahead of the ISRU rover landing, I managed to get a much cleaner landing right beside the base. I'm really happy with this rover. It's simple, looks great, and gets the job done. It will be my main ISRU rover for the future Moon and Mars missions. Later on, I also plan to build a stationary fuel plant that stays on the surface while tankers refuel any landers that arrive. That'll be for Minmus. Now let's talk about HLS. The launch went perfectly, but I noticed the flip after stage separation is too slow, wasting around 200 meters per second of pure delta V. I'll be fixing that in the next episode with a staggered engine shutdown and improved booster landing. Booster catches have also become much more harder after changing the tower angle, so it'll take some practice. Other than that, both vehicles are performing exactly how I hoped. The Starship launches are the same story, same flight, just a better sequence. I'll also be changing the re-entry profile so Starship banks towards the tower just like a real vehicle. forgot to record the docking between Starship, but after a lot of patience, everything came together. As we head back to the moon, the tower catch shown on the left is one of the hardest parts of the mission. I didn't make it to the catch this time, but every attempt helps me improve. The next Starship only video will be a separate save where I launch 40 satellites into low Earth orbit and catch both booster and the ship. After arriving in lunar orbit, we dock with Blue Moon, and seeing HLS next to this really shows how massive it is. I was honestly nervous because I haven't tested the landing legs on the moon yet. Now it's time for the launch of SLS Block 0, carrying our crew of 4 to the lunar surface. I upgraded the second stage with an efficient engine, giving it more delta V at the cost of thrust, which I honestly think is a fair trade. One of our engineers also got sick during the mission, so if his health drops too low, we may have to land the rescue mission. Once in lunar orbit, we dock with the landers, transfer 2 Kerbals, and prepare for landing. Blue Moon lands first, and the landing goes perfectly. Then we bring in the crew rover to transfer everyone towards the base. Finally, it's HLS's turn. This landing had me nervous because it was the first real test of both landing engines and the landing legs. Thankfully, everything worked perfectly and the lander touched down safely. It does make me wonder how it'll perform once it's fully fueled though. With both landers on the surface, it's time to start the refueling operations. Unfortunately, The ISRU rover overheated, so in episode 3, I'll be sending a second improved rover with better cooling to help keep fuel production running. And that's going to wrap up episode 2. I've had a blast making these videos, and if you enjoyed it, please leave a like and comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next mission.